Alrighty, y'all. It is still technically Sunday, June the 8th out here on the West Coast, and I'm just rambling. This is kind of a bonus episode. It's interesting that the same people who don't want you to cut them off over their political beliefs are cheering for what's happening in California. They want the government to invade a state that they don't like, and those people are mad at you if you don't want to be their friends anymore because of their politics. They want to be completely separated from everything they believe in and cheer for. Darling, we're not doing that double dip of caucasity any longer, where they cheer for the horrible thing and then say, how dare you not want to be my friend just because I believe in cruelty for cruelty's sake. That's not Christian or American. We're not doing that anymore. Okay? More and more people need to call these folks out. It has nothing to do with their politics or their religion. They're just horrible people in a cult that worships cruelty for the sake of cruelty, exclusion for the sake of cruelty, harming other people in the name of faux supremacy. All right? Instead of hopping in and competing, you want to wipe everyone else out. You want to be supreme by being the only one in the room. But the problem is you don't want to be the only one in the room with each other. So, darling, prepare for a whole week of what about isms? What about Biden? What about Kamala Harris? What about all kinds of things that don't exist and didn't happen? Okay, what about things they don't know about? Get ready for a whole lot of folks in Florida and Tennessee and Louisiana to have all kinds of opinions about California and what should be done out here to fix these problems. And, darling, I wish just once we had a Democratic president send the National Guard into Louisiana to swoop up all the good Christian men that are doing you-know-what to their own offspring. I wish we could get some National Guard to step in on that, but that's not a priority because that's their culture. What is a priority is bothering citizens that are just trying to live, harassing the state that produces the federal funds that funds all those broke-ass states that complain about us. I don't know. We've got eyes sitting on rooftops, okay? Just sitting in sniper style, and that is there, again, to oppress and scare the people. And you want to know who's scared of it? Mostly these folks, and I'm seeing more and more step up. I appreciate y'all, the alabaster accomplices. All right, but I'm not saying that to draw a division. I want to point out that for the persons of color, this show of force is not news. If you notice, they are not shaken, okay? The Latino Hispanic community is not shaken by the presence, all right? It's these folks that were losing their shit first. Now they're starting to catch on and realizing, oh, okay, if you follow our lead, all right, and then go ahead and use your whiteness for good, you can actually help us out and get a lot further. But if you follow the lead, you see, we ain't worried. We are not scared because this is not new for us. So this is how our lives have been. Catch up. Catch up. This is how our everyday has been. All right? For the folks who like to pretend that it's not like that. Imagine you could watch live. You could see what's happening on the ground. You could see the peaceful protests. And instead you choose to wait for some old man who's at a UFC fight or an MMA fight or whatever the hell it was to toilet twattler out his opinion about what he thinks is happening there. And then you're going to go repeat that? You're going to go repeat that. Right. You're going to wait for Fox to regurgitate a bunch of highly edited things to give you a narrative that is not true, so you can get on the internet and argue with people who live here about what's really going on. The same people who argue with the white South Africans and tell them, yes, there is a genocide. When the people living there are saying, no, there's not, I live here, and there's not. That's the caucasity. And if you think it ends, it doesn't. These people are rewriting history as you go. Okay? They are insulting California and likening it to J6. Okay? Where they unalived people. Where they smeared their own bodily excrements on things, where they befouled a Capitol building and want reparations for their inconvenience of being told that they shouldn't have done that for the ones who went to jail. They call themselves hostages. This is how history is rewritten. You're watching it. You're watching the assholes and the bullies rewrite their own behavior as we go along. In Oklahoma, don't forget, they're already teaching that 20 was stolen. Fact, while telling you that questioning 2024 is a threat to their democracy. Okay? It is nothing but projection. And we, the people, are kind of tired of it. We're kind of tired of it. I know this is a little different vibe than I usually do. But it's a little later than I'm usually up. And I'm just mulling it over. I've been watching it all weekend, the way y'all have been watching it all weekend. And I'm so proud of the people of California coming forth. Again, I just want to point out that the representatives, legislators, the people being paid with our money are real low profile right now. Okay, we got a little statement here, a little statement there. They're focused on what? Nothing burgers. They're focused on everything that's not really helping us. They want to show up and protest with us. They don't want to use their power in Congress. They want to help us identify people. They want to show up and voice their opinion on how they agree with us. And then they're going to go to work and continue to vote against our interests. I'm just pointing it out. I'm pointing it all out so we can keep it all in mind when this is all over and done and we need to clean up shop. Because the shop we need to clean up is everything. No more of this letting them slide when it's done. No more agree to disagree when it's all over so they can go back and bring this up again in 10 years when they have a new cult leader to follow. This has to get stamped out. And I'm not talking about V-word. I'm talking about accountability. Okay? Every time these people rise up and try to take over states or cities with their hate and then they fail, we let them slide back into their caves. We let them hang their hoods back up in their closets and we let them assimilate back in with the rest of us and let them, they don't even get shamed. Okay, they just go on living, waiting for the next opportunity for them to rear their ugly little heads out of the dirt. We're not doing this again. When this is over, we're clearing house. Every elected official that sat by, out. Every person that had nothing to say, every church that had nothing to say, hold them accountable. And every church that backed this up as the plan of God and the word of God, don't let people forget. Because when this is done, they're going to flip their script real quick because they don't want to give up that paycheck. Don't let them do that. Okay? The people who had the signs on their cars and in their windows, even in my neighborhood, I see them. I see them taking them down. I see them pretending that this isn't them anymore. It is. And I have not forgotten who they are. And you are not going to forget who they are either. Okay? The people who are on here making content about how this is exactly what they wanted. They love watching the government go into a state and invade it for no reason other than they don't even know. They don't even know why. Maybe immigrants, maybe. They're not sure. All they know is it's cruelty on TV. It's people they think they don't like. It's people speaking Spanish. It's brown-skinned people getting tear gassed, and that's all they want to see. Speaking of that, darling, did you see that the National Guard, Barrison, didn't calibrate for the wind and ended up gassing themselves? That's what happens when you show up someplace you're not supposed to be. Okay, they showed up. They're standing there wasting our money, following illegitimate orders, going after riots that don't exist. Okay, if anyone's fixing a riot, it's them. They're the ones agitating. They're the ones pushing out. They're the ones with the tear gas and the rubber bullets. The people are literally sitting. The people are chilling. They're walking, they're marching, they're chanting, they're dancing, they're recording, but they are not pushing. They are not touching the officers or their property. And honestly, they need to start getting froggy with some of those parked vehicles because there's a lot of hotels that are going to be full of unwatched vehicles that are going to need to mobilize around the city. And if they're going to sit here for 30 days, and darling, we got 30 days to get creative. I know, I'm just rambling. This isn't my usual podcast. Maybe this is a bonus episode. I don't know. It's just kind of late night. I've been ruminating, watching all weekend, and I don't want to joke about it. I want to just point out that we are living in a historical moment, and it's exciting. And I'm not saying that to minimize the danger, but it is exciting to see who is falling on the correct side of history right now as it's happening. It's amazing to watch. It's amazing to see who gets it. It's amazing to see certain people feel things for the first time, see things for the first time, stand up for the first time. And now I'm saying none of these have ever. I'm just saying for folks that are new to this. And then it's also interesting watching how many people feel emboldened to come on out of their trailer closets and say, yes, this is everything I want. This is everything I want. This is exactly the America I stand for. This makes me happy. This makes me feel united. Crying children makes me feel good. Tear gas citizens makes me feel good. Parents getting kidnapped makes me feel good. Don't forget it. save those videos because they're going to pretend they didn't say that in a couple of years. Just saying.